Hello again and welcome to the first part of the toolkit, which we've called Knowing Them. And we've done that purposely. You may think of the C-suite just as a sort of bland mass of people, but of course they're individuals. Now in section 3, under equipping yourself, we'll be thinking of them as their personalities and how them as individual personalities affects us. But look at section 3 for that. What we're thinking of here is knowing them as their roles and the work that they do. Research tells us if we approach people cold and we don't know anything about them, if we haven't taken any time out to understand them and where they're coming from, we've lost them immediately. So the challenge here is to get to know them before you get to know them. Now again, research here at the BCI suggests that we business continuity practitioners tend to sit all over the business organisation. So some of us will sit in finance, and so getting to know the chief financial officer is a lot easier than somebody like myself, for example, who sit within operations, but I understand how the chief operations officer works and what's on his agenda. Some of you will sit in company secretary, some of you will sit elsewhere in the business. So what we're doing here is prompting you to put together a profile for each individual member of the C-suite. When you look at the pages, you see we're prompting you to think about the background, where they come from, the sort of work that they've done before that might rub up against and relate to business continuity that we can use as a hook to engage them. We're getting you to think about live projects, topical issues that are going on in their part of the world, and you can make an offering to them. We're experts at running exercises. Perhaps they're doing a difficult project and we can offer to them that we can set up an exercise so they can see how their project may pan out across the organisation, because we understand how it works where they don't. We can offer them something. So we're asking you to put that profile together. Now obviously it's fairly generic, and what we'd like you to do is build that profile for your own company and feed that back into us, so the generic one in the centre gets stronger and sharper as we go forward. The other thing that we would like you to think about is we're talking about the C-suite. But it doesn't necessarily have to be the top of the organisation for you. Your C-suite, your board members may just depend upon where you sit in the organisation. It might be your business unit executive team, it might be your functional team, it might be your divisional team. Basically, it's anybody who has influence over whether you can progress your business continuity programme. So think about getting to know your key influencers. Thank you for listening.